Welcome to Python Programming Language video tutorials by Shine India Pvt Limited. I am your Posubabu Sir, Technical Quant Logical Reasoning Trainer. So in this class, I would like to discuss arithmetic operators and relational operators. So without wasting our time, let's start the class. So prior to discuss about arithmetic operators and relational operators, so let us discuss what is operators first. Right? So operators is one of the token. So that we have discussed in our previous class. So let us discuss what is operators. So operators are a special symbols. So that will be used to do some sort of computations. Right? So this is what the definition of operators. Right? So you just try to focus on the definition. So operators means they are a special symbols. So like, let me give a small example for these symbols. So you may use plus or minus or multiplication operator or a division operator, or else you may use equal to operator. Means next one is you may use greater than or equal to. So we have a plenty of operators. So operators are a special symbols. So we are going to use it. So in order to do some sort of computations. So I hope it is clear to everybody. Now you have to learn what is operand. So let us learn what is operand. Right? So the values that operator acts on, we can call it as operand. So let me give you a small example for this so that you could understand what is meant by operand. So let me take two values here, 10 and 20. And so let us take the operator here plus. Now, this is what an operator. This is what an operator, which is what a special symbol. So now this operator acts on what? These values. Here 10 comma 20. So this is what value and this is what value. So 10 and 20, they are values. Right? So this operator acts on these values. So hence 10 comma 20, we can tell it as operands. So the operator acts on what? Operands. So here 10 comma 20 are operands. So I hope everybody is clear, right? Now let us discuss the types of operators. So let me erase it. So now let us see the classification. Classification of operators based on operands. So based on operands, you can classify the operators in two types. So the one is unary operator and second one is binary operators. Now let us discuss what is meant by unary operator and what is meant by binary operator. Now let me take one example. So if I have given here minus 20, right? So in minus 20, here minus is operator. Now, this operator acts on how many number of operands? Only single operand. So hence it is called as unary operator. So let me write. So unary operator means the operator acts on how many operands? Single operand. Single operand. So hence we can call it as unary operator. So when coming to the binary operator, so in this case, operator will be acts on two operands. two operands. So then it is called as binary operator. So for binary operator, let me give a small example. Suppose 10 and 20, and if you are adding 1, so plus. So plus is an operator, so which is acting on how many operands? Two operands. So hence it is called as binary operator. Binary operator. So I hope everybody is clear with the classification of operators based on operands. Now let us discuss general classification of operators. So in general classification of operators, so general classification of operators. So one is arithmetic operators. And second one is relational operators. And third one is uh, logical operators. And fourth one is bitwise operators. And fifth one is assignment operators. And sixth one is special operators. So I hope everybody is clear with the general types of operators. So one should be familiar about these operators, right? So I hope clearly understood so far what I have conveyed. So now let's discuss arithmetic operators. So let us discuss arithmetic operators. So what is the use of arithmetic operators? Using arithmetic operators, so we can perform some basic mathematical operations, right? So you try to remember this point. So we can perform basic mathematical operations, right? Now, let us see what are the different arithmetic operators we are using. So we are using addition. So this is what the symbol for the addition. And we are using subtraction operator. So multiplication operator. So you can read the symbol as asterisk, right? So, and this is what the division operator. So we are using one forward slash. So, and second one is truncat division, right? So it is also similar to division. So we also called truncat division as floor division. So do remember this point. So truncat division is also called as what? Floor division. Okay. So we are using here double forward slashes. And then modulus operator. So for this we are using percentage symbol. So this is also called as mod operator. And finally we are using exponential operator. So we are using double asterisk symbols over here. Now let us perform the operations over here. Now let us take a is equal to some value as 10 and b is equal to value as 5, right? So now let us perform some basic operations like addition, right? So a plus b, so what it is going to return? 10 plus 5, so 15 it is going to return, right? So suppose if I'm going to use subtraction means minus, right? So subtraction operator, so it is going to return 10 minus 5, 5. So now I'm going to use the multiplication operator. So in this case, the output will be 50. Okay. So now let us execute it in my IDE. Right. So let us take A value as 10 and then B value as 5. Now let us perform the operations here. So A plus B. So in the next line, I'm going to write here A minus B. So in the next line, so I'm going to write here, so A multiplication B. Now you could see the outputs. So A plus B is means addition, we are getting 15, subtraction, we are getting 5, and multiplication, we are getting 50, right? So to understand the outputs by the users, so you could pass one message over here. So let me pass the message. So I'm writing here the addition is right. So whatever the message you are passing over here at the print statement, the same thing you will be getting on the screen, right? So let me execute it so that you could understand. So the addition is 15 you are getting, right? So here you are writing one message here. So the subtraction is. So let us place comma. So you have to follow the syntax as like this. You have to put it in the quotes, either single quote or double quote. So after completion of the message, so that we are passing and we are expecting on the screen. So you have to place comma. Okay. So the next one is, so let me write single quote here. Right. So I'm writing here. So the multiplication is. So let me place some colon here and comma. Now you could see so the outputs so that user can understand easily, right? So now let's go back and discuss. So what is the difference between division and normal division? So both are very, very important, right? So now let's see. So division operator. And now let's discuss so division and truncate division. So let's see one example over here. So A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 5. Now let's find A division by B, right? So now in this case, the output will be 10 by 5. So the output will be 2, but it is going to return float value. So do remember always, so division operator, when you are using, it always returns float values. So do remember this point, right? Now, if I have changed A value here, so A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 3. So in this case, so division operator will be return the output as 0.333 and so on. So it returns what? Float values. Okay. So this is what about the division operator, so which means it gives a complete quotient. So it gives what? Complete quotient. So do remember this point. So now let us discuss so truncate division. So instead of using so one forward slash here, if you are using double forward slashes, so then what it is going to return? So it is going to return only integer value, means so in quotient part, so we are getting so integral part only. So in this case, for first example, so this is what a first example here, and this is second example. So in the first example, so if I'm going to use double forward slashes here, right? So A truncate division or flow division B, so the output will be 2. So only you will be getting integral part, right? So you won't get so decimal part. So for the second example, so you will be getting so the output as over here for the second example, so integral part, which means only 0 you will be getting, right? So you won't get here decimal part, right? So I hope everybody is clear, right? Suppose if I have taken, so A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 3. So if I want to perform A flow division B, so what could be the output you are getting means, so you could write here 10 by 3. So 3 threes are 9, right? So remainder is 1. So point 0. Here again you are getting 3 threes are 9. So again 1. Since we placed already decimal point over there 10. So 3. So 9 and so on, right? So this 333 will be so coming. It's so 3 will be, so this 3 will be recurring, right? So hence, if you are going to perform so A truncate division B, the output is what? So you will be getting output as only 3. So integral part. So this decimal part, you could ignore it. So you will be getting only output as 3 over here. Right? I hope everybody is clear. Suppose if I'm going to use A divided by B, so the output will be 3.3 bar, which means 3.333 and so on you will be getting. Right? So this is what the difference between so normal division and truncate division. So in a nutshell, so if you want to remember this, so normal division is giving what info? So normal division is giving complete quotient. Complete quotient you will be getting in the normal division. So whereas, so if you are going to use truncate division or flow division, so you will be getting integral part. So integral part of quotient. So do remember this point. So now let us execute so these two operations in my IDE. So let us erase this. So I'm writing here. So A division B. So and execute it. So the output is what? So it gives what? Float values. So let me write print. So A by B. Right? So in the same way, I'm going to print A flow division B. Now you could execute it and come to know the difference. So in normal division, you got 2.0, whereas in flow division, you got integral part of this float value. Right? So only 2 it is going to return. Right? So let me change the values here. So I'm going to use A value as 1 and B value as 3 and then execute it. So you are getting 0.333 and so on in normal division. In flow division, you are getting only integral part. So I hope everybody is clear, right? So this is what the difference between normal division and truncate division. Now let's go back and discuss so modulus operator. So let me erase all these things. Right. So now let us perform so modulus operator. So modulus operator, the role is what? So it is going to return what? Reminders. Do remember this point. So we are going to use many times all these operators, right? So modulus operator or mod operator is going to return what? Reminder, right? So let me take one example. So A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 3. So if I want to perform A mod B, so how do you read this percentage symbol here? It is modulus operator, A mod B, and it is going to return the output as 1. Right? So now how did you get 1 here? So 10 divided by 3. So 3 3s are 9. So remainder is 1. So this is what you will be getting as your output. So or else you may perform like this. So 3 3s are 9. So remainder is 1. So this is what the output we are getting. So I hope everybody is clear with the modulus operator. Sir, if numerator is less when compared with the denominator. So if you see over here, so 10 mod B, right? So what we can say here? So we got here 10 mod 3, which means you can write as 10 by 3. We are finding what? Remainder. So when 10 is divided by 3, remainder we are finding. In this case, that remainder as 1, right? Now, if I have given here, so the numerator is 10 and denominator is 11, right? So when 10 divided by 11, what could be the remainder? So remainder is 10, right? So whenever numerator is less than the denominator, numerator itself will be the remainder. So if I have given here 1 mod 3, so what could be the remainder? So 1 itself will be the remainder. So right, so because the numerator is less than the denominator. So whenever numerator is less than the denominator, numerator itself will be the remainder. So I hope everybody is clear, right? So now let us execute it. So in my IDE. So let me open here. So and then I'm going to perform so mod operator. So instead of this division, so I'm going to change it as mod operator. Now let's perform. Now you could see, so 1 mod 3. So here 1 is less than the 3. So whenever numerator is less than the denominator, so numerator itself will be the remainder. Right? Now let's take another example. So I'm going to take A value as 10 and B value as 3. Now let us perform. So output is 1. Right? So right, 10 by 3. So 3 times will be cancelled. Remainder is 1. Now, if I have changed value as 11 and then perform it, so in this case, you will be getting 2 as your remainder. Right? So whenever numerator is less than the denominator, see here, I'm going to change A value as 2. So 2 is less than 3. So in this case, I will be getting output as 2. Right? So I'm writing here 20, here 30. So 20 when divided by 30, what could be the remainder? You will be getting 20. So whenever numerator is less than the denominator, numerator itself will be the remainder. So I hope everybody is clear with the modulus operator. Now let's discuss exponential operator. So in this case, let us discuss exponential. Now exponential operators, let's take one example. So A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 4. I am taking. Right? So exponential operator. So let us perform the operation. So A double asterisk symbol, asterisk symbols we have to use here. So A double asterisk symbols and B. So here, so this operator we can call it as exponential operator. So now if you perform this one, so the output will be what? So 2 power 4. So the output will be 2 power 4 means it is 16, right? So I hope everybody is clear with the exponential operator. So let's perform this operation in my IDE, right? So let me take, so A is equal to 2, so B is equal to 4. And let us perform exponential operator, right? So let us use exponential operator. Now output is what? 16. Now let's take, so A value as 5 and B value as 4, right? So now let us execute it. So the output is 625, which means 5 power 4. So I hope everybody is clear with the exponential operator, right? So these are the different operators we have from arithmetic operators. So these operators can be used in order to perform some basic mathematical operations in our programs, right? So we regularly use these operators. So I hope everybody is clear with the arithmetic operators. Now let's discuss relational operator. Now let's discuss relational operators. So relational operators are also called as comparison operators. So let me write it over here. So relational operators, we can call it as comparison operators, right? So what is the use of these comparison operators? So these comparison operators can be used in order to compare the values. So we can compare the values, right? So I hope you could understand. These comparison operators is going to return what values as our output. These comparison operators is going to return Boolean values. So do remember, so always you will be getting Boolean values as your output. So which means it might be returned true or false. So either true might be getting your output or else false, right? So these comparison operators are binary operators, so which means at a time, so it is going to be applied on two operands. So let me take various relational operators presented over here, right? So the first one is greater than. So greater than. So let me write it here. So A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 5. So now let us write here A greater than B, right? So this operator, working on two operands. So hence we can call it as binary operator. Right? So now is it 10 greater than 5? Yes. So clearly 10 is greater than 5. So in this case, it is going to return true. So I hope it is clear to everybody. Now let us perform less than, right? So here, let me write the symbols over here. This is greater than, and then, so, and this is less than, and the greater than or equal to, right? And less than or equal to, and this is what equality operator, which means equal to you have to write, and finally not equal to, right? So these are the operators which are available from the relational operators. So now let's perform all these operations in my IDE. So let me open. So let us write a equal to 10. Right? So, and then b is equal to 5. So let us perform all the operations at a time. So a greater than b. Now you could see, so you are getting output as true since 10 is greater than 5. And let us perform the next one. So less than, a less than b. Now in this case, you are getting false because 10 is not less than 5. So hence the output is false. So you could see we are getting only Boolean values over here as our outputs. So let me print one more. So a greater than or equal to b. So clearly 10 is greater than or equal to b. So since 10 is clearly greater, so you will be getting true as your output. So now next one is a less than or equal to b. Now let me give here 10 so that you could understand. Now in the first case, is it 10 greater than 10? Not really. In this case, you will be getting false. And in this case also, you will be getting what? False. So a greater than or equal to b. Now let's see what will happen. So first two will be false. Right. So next one will be what? So a means 10 greater than or equal to 10. Yes, right? So greater than or equal. So equality is there. Hence you are getting true. So here also equality is there. Hence you are getting true. Right? Let me change the values here. So 5. And now let me check it out with one more. So a equal to b. Now in this case, 10 is equal to b. Now equality we are checking. So in this case, false. Right? So we are getting false as our output. Now, finally, so let me check with a not equal to b. So clearly 10 is not equal to 5, right? So in this case, you will be getting output as true. So let's see the final output. So you are getting true. So I hope everybody is clear with the operators which are there under the relational, right? So we have these are the operators. So we are going to use it. So in order to perform the operations. So remember, so it returns what? Boolean values. So according to the condition, right? So it might be getting output as true or false, right? So I hope everybody is clear with the relational operators and arithmetic operators, right? So if it is clear, please like my video and share it and subscribe our channel. Thank you.